Welcome to the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube on a Tuesday. It's been a while since we've done it on Tuesday, so I ain't said that in a cool minute. If you are on the channel, you will see that we are 5 subscribers away from that 200. Y'all been running it up for the past couple of weeks, especially since we got into the playoffs. So, of course, if you like what you see, if you want some good NBA content on a weekly basis, especially for the postseason, then lock it in with us at the Hardaway, trying to get to 200 and beyond. And of course, if you are listening on a podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, any podcast platform, leave us a 5-star review, subscribe over there as well, and we will greatly appreciate it. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sideline, take them school on up the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good?
I'm hurt, fellas. I'm hurt. I'm hurt like LeBron and AD and all them. I'm really hurt right now. I'm gonna leave it alone. Fucking air fryer.
His air fryer is out, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an owner of an air fryer, you know that pain all too well. If it has gone, we also get your favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted's Care too. Your boy King Kendrick is out here again, man.
How y'all fellas doing on this euphoric Tuesday? I would ask how Sheedy's doing, but that it only used air, so how air fryer break? I'm confused. What the kids say. I'm confusion right now.
Yeah, me too. I'm hurt.
Anywho, man, what's going on, fellas? What's going on? Of course, y'all been asking me to come on. I was gonna take another off day, but here we are. And plus, I had somebody else that wanted to show their face because they've been screaming to hop on the pod. So of course. We got the homie, Broomy James, back. Shout out to Broomy. He been bugging me for the last week.
Wow.
He been bugging me for the last week. So, of course, Broomy had to make his little 10 seconds of fame. Now get your ass away because, yeah, y'all done.
And it's only fitting that he's out there in Phoenix, man. That's man. Bradley Beal said he ain't never been swept in his life and he'll be damned if it happens. And he said, I'll be damned. He didn't get swept. Got swept by the
shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They really took care of the Pelicans like they were supposed to. They swept them, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Shea. Y'all question his MVP-ness and his clutchness, and he swept, a pretty nice solid team in the Pelicans. So, shout out to him.
But we ain't talking about them. They talking about them Phoenix Suns at some point. So of course we got to talk about Kevin Durant.
Y'all can talk about it.
A little bit of deflection here. Okay.
But before we get into that, we do have some NBA trivia too. What you got today, man?
Of course. So today's just gonna be a pretty depressing episode. Outside of it being pretty euphoric, which is crazy because they like completely opposites. But to kick a dead horse while he dead, LeBron James has literally, we all know this team, so I just want to see how close y'all get to the numbers. He has a winning record versus all NBA teams except one. That one should be pretty obvious.
Denver.
Yeah.
So outside of the playoffs, because I didn't count the playoffs, in the 43 games that he's played the Nuggets, what's that record? Which ain't too bad, to be honest with you.
So he lost 11 in a row, right?
Yeah, and he has a losing record, right?
Well, it's a losing record, but we're not gonna count the playoffs. I got 43 games as of April 16th.
Is it 42 games?
43 games.
43. Okay. I'm going to say 22 and like 21.
Super close.
Dang, I was going to say 16 and 40. 16 and 27, excuse me. But I'm off then.
Okay. So the answer is 20 and 23. Like I said, it ain't bad. It ain't bad.
Hey, like.
So real quick, who was LeBron's best record against? What team do you think he beat the most?
The Raptors?
The Raptors are third.
Okay.
Pacers?
It's not the Pacers.
Wizards.
It is not the Wizards. You get close with the sorry ass teams, though.
Pistons?
Not the Pistons. Screw you, Sheedy.
Nah, Pistons was cold in 2000. I don't know about them one.
Early 2000s, yeah.
Early 2000s,
yeah. I see it in the comments.
I ain't gonna look.
Okay. Shout out to Ryan.
What division?
Yeah.
Southeast. I believe, if that's still a thing.
The Hornets, maybe.
Yeah, Hornets, Bobcats.
Bobcats.
The Hornets.
Okay.
9-7 against the Hornets. The more you know.
Okay. Cool. LeBron, some good LeBron trivia today. But before we get into LeBron, I do want to do some quick NBA news because we are going to get to the Lakers off-season outlook after the Phoenix Suns off-season outlook. NBA news, not really NBA news per se, but Candace Parker, she is retiring from the WNBA. An amazing career. She's been a champion literally everywhere she's gone, from Tennessee to LA Sparks to Chicago Sky, even to the Las Vegas Aces in I guess a bench role, quote unquote, because she was hurt towards the end of the season. But one of the best players to ever pick up a basketball, men or women. So I just want to give Candace Parker her flowers. Y'all got any questions? Any comments about Candace Parker retiring?
Okay, yeah, I'll say something. Definitely. No, for sure. Just allude to them, man. That's one of my favorite memories of just watching her, Diana Taurasi in college, man. That's something me and my mom definitely enjoyed when they had the opportunity, because it seemed like every year back in college, they were hooping against each other, and it was some of the greatest basketball. And then you see her transition from that to the WNBA. And just a Hall of Fame career, first ballot easily, and just, even off the court as well, just being the role model that she is. And, people calling her the real CP3. We're not going to be disrespectful on here. But at the same time, she's earned a name and she's earned a right. So salute to a legend and Candace Parker.
Yeah, she's one of the very few players, men or women. And now, actually, I shouldn't even say it like that. One of the very few players. I'm not going to say men or women anymore, because all players, men and players, and a lot of women are better than men. But her ability to translate, to your point, to off the court, right? Like being a great analyst that she is, talking about basketball, you can hear how gifted she is mentally about basketball if you ever heard her analysis of the game. And it's up there with a lot of other people, and I'll put her in front of a lot of other people as well. Again, kudos to what she's done on the court. I mean, her resume speaks for itself. When others are having this conversation about Caitlin Clark being a GOAT, you must have not seen what Candace Parker was ability to do college and professionally. And so we haven't got there yet, so I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, and to kind of wrap it up, like Candace Parker, she really evolved as a player, and that kind of lets me. It kind of segues into what I'll talk about a little bit later with the Suns leaving the Lakers. But like in college, she was primarily considered a big. Like she jumped ball for like the opening of the game. But as she got to the WNBA, she kind of evolved into like a point forward, point center kind of player. So she can handle the ball. She could set teammates up. Great defense. Obviously, the offense was there, and I think that just speaks just highly of her basketball IQ. To Sheedy's point about her being a great analyst, like she can be a great analyst because she was great on the court as well too, as far as her basketball mind. So big shout out to Candace Parker for a great career. I feel old now because I literally watched at Tennessee. Like I vividly remember those championship runs she had, and even her winning with the Sparks and winning with the Sky, and then last year with the Aces. So shout out to Candace Parker. Salute to her. She's gonna do big things post her playing career. But let's get into it, man. I want to get right to the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns offseason outlook. There was a lot of hype around the roster construction. Well, not the roster construction, but more so the big three aspect of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. So obviously last year, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker took Denver Nuggets. I don't think took them to the brink, but they gave them the biggest challenge out of every team last year that the Nuggets went through to be NBA champions. So likewise, one would think that adding an additional scorer to those two would provide some more help for the Phoenix Suns to perform better for this particular season. And for a while, it was up and down. They have great stretches, and then they have poor stretches. And so once they got to the postseason, they literally had probably their worst stretch of basketball. Kevin Durant played decently. Devin Booker was kind of up and down. Bradley Beal had way more downs than ups. And so I tweeted on Twitter and said that this team, they cannot come back next season with the exact same roster. One, because they have no role players at all. They have like Nurkic, no. These other players like Kogi and whoever's on the bench, I don't even know. Just no. And you didn't really get anything out of Bradley Beal as a playmaker as what they thought they were going to do. And I actually have the quote from I think it was from Chris Haynes with Yahoo, and he was saying how Frank Vogel but James Jones, the GM for the Phoenix Suns, didn't want them to bring a point guard in because that takes the ball out of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal's hands. He said, I know Frank Vogel wanted the point guard on the roster, and the front office believe bring the point guard, take the ball out of the big three's hands. Yeah, so basically that's what I said. So my thinking is this: you literally have to trade somebody in order to get assets. Why? Because you don't have a draft pick until 2031. That's 7 years from now, ladies and gentlemen. They don't have a first round draft pick or a second round draft pick until 2031. For those of you who don't know about me, I have a daughter. She was born in 2021. They won't have a first round pick until my daughter is 10 years old. So, gentlemen, now I'm putting the ball in y'all's court. Who should the Phoenix Suns trade in order to get assets for the future creation of their roster? Are they trading Kevin Durant? Are they trading Devin Booker? Or are they trading Bradley Beal? Because somebody got to go, in my opinion. Somebody has to go in order to get draft picks. Who is it?
Well, we'll be honest here.
I'm not talking. You got to cheat.
Oh no! So that's not how I was going to start. What I was going to say was, of the big three, we know one of them has a no trade clause in his contract, which is Bradley Beal. That leaves two people. Even when I was talking to, and this is crazy that you talked about your daughter being 10, my son just turned 8, and I just was talking basketball with him about this. You can't trade Devin Booker either. Devin Booker is Phoenix. I'm sorry. And I would love for him to maybe find a ring with Phoenix, or if not, just play his whole career in Phoenix, do what he does. But Kevin Durant is who needs to be traded. And because Kevin Durant, of those three names that you just named, Kevin Durant will demand and command the most attention, the most draft picks, the most player value, as opposed to the other two. Now, money-wise, I think Bradley Beal is actually making more possibly than Kevin Durant, just because I think he was able to sign that huge extension with the Wizards. And since he's been with them, his tenure, and then you got Devin Booker, who's got his tenure with the Suns. I think Kevin Durant is like second with salary. But you go find a point guard immediately, and something else with bench. Also, never mind. You just asked about the two players who will be traded. I'll leave it at that, and we can come back to the Suns talk because we're not done.
My honest opinion, since I am forced to be here to talk contractually, if you want me to be completely honest, I can't answer that, and I don't think the Suns can answer that as well, because I think they're probably, as they should, take the best deal available. You can't trade Bradley Beal, but in a way you can, because a no trade clause, meaning he can determine where he goes. So if he finds a situation that'll be able to take his contract, he may say yes to it. Will he? Probably not, because I love being out here in Phoenix, and I'm pretty sure he does too. So you got to take that away. I did talk to my guy, Damian Adams, who's a reporter out here with the Suns. Of course, you got to tap in with him. And if you want both of us to be completely honest, I did tell him, hey, Kevin Durant is more likely to be traded, but if I'm the Suns, I am going to field calls for Devin Booker. Of course, Devin Booker is Phoenix, but if you think about what you literally just said, Savage, they won't have a draft pick until your daughter is 10, bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that information until coming to this episode. So now I'm looking like you probably will have to get what you can, especially with the new ownership. Y'all know I look into the business side too. It's new ownership. There is no loyalty between Devin Booker and a new loyalty and a new ownership. So if I got calls, if I'm receiving calls and I'm getting the most for Devin Booker, I may have to go ahead and pull that plug because, again, that's $660 million between the three of them. One of them will not be back for sure. Of course, you can get a lot for Kevin Durant. Don't get me wrong. But if you asking who at least performed in their ass whooping against the Ant-Man and the Timberwolves, it was Kevin Durant. So am I really wanting to trade the best player on the court? So like I said, if I'm the Suns, I'm filling offers for both. But if I had to make a choice right now, even though Devin Booker is the Phoenix Suns, he's the youngest, and I think you can get the most for him. And if I'm new ownership, and I'm more than likely about to get a new coach too, we ain't got no loyalty to Devin Booker. So there you have it, folks.
I think we're headed towards a fire sale. I think that you originally too, when I thought about this question, Durant's the most common sense answer. But earlier today, I put up my original comment about last year about Booker being upset about Monty Williams being fired, and that was his guy. Like, that was my coach. Like, that kind of literally helped me to the NBA Finals if I'm Devin Booker. And so I think Devin Booker's got to be like, what the hell's going on, bro? Like, we went from being up 2-0 against the Bucks, about to win a championship, and then we lost 4 in a row. Which, I mean, Giannis went crazy. We know that. But like after that, we end up going to get KD mid-season, and KD was undefeated in the games that he played with Devin Booker. Got to the playoffs, we played the Nuggets better than anybody else, and then fired the coach. So the coach gets fired more times than not because of the new management. We know that. But it's like, okay, you bring in Frank Vogel, and now Frank Vogel's there. He's not able to do what he wants to do to be an effective coach. So you being pulled in 2 million directions if you're Devin Booker. There is no consistency, and there honestly won't be consistency for the next 7 years. So if I'm Booker, I'm in the prime of my career. I'm 27 years old. I just got whooped by my old college teammate, Cat, and I see Ant-Man, they having a great time. I'm over here, I'm miserable because Kevin Durant is here. So if I had to put it in order of who getting traded, I think Devin Booker should ask for a trade. Not saying that he will. I think he should ask for a trade because there's going to be a better situation somewhere in the NBA where you will have less, BS going on. And honestly, there are teams that have several draft picks. Oklahoma City Thunder, 15 first-round picks. If I can add Devin Booker to that and have him with Shea, I'll be okay with that. Or if I'm like any other team that got a lot of draft picks, I think can Brooklyn take Devin Booker now? We can just swap that thing back out again or something. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Booker, KD, and I think Brad Beal is really enough to be the only one that's gonna stay with Phoenix, because I think Beal, you're not gonna find a good suitor for Bradley Beal right now. His value is super duper low based on what we've seen from him in that third slot. At the same time, I think Bradley Beal could be way better as a number 2 option than a number 3 option. It's kind of weird with Brad Beal. So does Phoenix want to keep it with Bradley Beal as number 2, keep KD as your main guy, and then trade Booker for picks and maybe a point guard? That might be ideal. But they got to do something. Like, if they come back next year with this exact same roster, they might F around and not make the playoffs. Because the young teams we'll get into later, all them teams are coming next year. All of them. And Phoenix has no bench at all. None.
2 questions. You kind of got me on one. So the one question, real quick. Do y'all feel like people would the Suns could get more for Booker or more for KD?
I say Booker.
Yeah, and I've said that.
But it also depends on who trading, though. It depends on who trade for Kevin Durant. Somebody might be desperate. I saw something around there where they think that it might be like a KD, LeBron, and Steph situation, which that would be awful. Like, no. That's
only for the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. Only for the Olympics.
Yeah. Not for no 82 games in the race. No. But it depends on who trade for KD.
Question number 2: you just called Devin Booker miserable because he's playing with Kevin Durant. Elaborate, please. Because again, he was the best player on that team in this playoffs, and if you want to be real about it, last playoffs as well. Like, he showed up.
Yeah, he did. But I think it's kind of like, for me, like the LeBron effect. It's like what comes with Kevin Durant. So what comes with Kevin Durant is like his personality in terms of like, I don't really know how to describe Kevin Durant. I'm not saying he's a malcontent, but he moved a little different, if you know what I mean. He moved different than a regular player. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's great. He's very he's a basketball savant. I ain't gonna disrespect Kevin Durant, but what it takes to have Kevin Durant makes it miserable. The same way what it takes to have LeBron James also makes it miserable, to where you can't construct a feasible roster around these players. I can't think of the last time Kevin Durant has had an overall roster built around him since the Golden State Warriors, who is a franchise that know what they're doing to build a roster. Same with Oklahoma City prior to Kevin Durant leaving to go to Golden State. Brooklyn was bad forever, and then Phoenix was bad, or is bad, these past 2 years. Last year was kind of okay, but I gave them grace mid-season before they fired Monty Williams. I'm like, okay, you have Kevin Durant for a full offseason, figure out the offense, keep Monty Williams up by firing Monty Williams. So it was like, well, you got a new coach now that got to get these players acclimated. Then you bring in Bradley Beal. So it was just like a whole clusterfuck, honestly.
Should you got something?
I was gonna say, man, and honestly, the best bench player realistically also kind of really spoke out, and that was I was about to call him the wrong Gordon, Eric Gordon. He was talking about how he was hurt about his touch or not content with his touches. It was like mid-season to almost the end of the season. Excuse me, saying that. So I agree that. I'm not gonna say that Devin Booker is miserable. That word is strong, but I see that he's not happy. He's not content. He's not playing the way he was prior to Kevin Booker. Before Kevin Durant got there. And then it's like you also look at you got those three players. Big three is 150 million next season. Then Grayson Allen and Nurkic, who I don't even know, was he in the playoffs? Did anybody see him?
Getting work. Can't work in his ass.
And he has the worst winning percentage, I think, of any active player in the playoffs, by the way. Trash.
Nigga, bomb. Trash.
So those 5 salaries right there was almost 200 million. It's like 100 and maybe 70 or 175 million to get swept. To get swept in the first round.
Speaking of that, man, we'll get into it later, but no answer for Anthony Edwards at all. No double, no no hard fouls. Just get dunked on.
Ain't Frank a defensive coach? I thought he was a defensive coach.
I thought he was too. He ain't no dogs though. Yeah, no dogs that want to do anything. None. 0 dogs. So yeah, Phoenix, man. Personally, I expect a fire sale, but if they come back next year with the same roster, I need an ISO in the summer. I'm gonna need an ISO, damn it. All right. Speaking of poor roster construction, Los Angeles Lakers, they also they avoid the broom. They avoid the broom this time. They get that one win against the Nuggets. But they also did not particularly play well against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, particularly against Mr. Jamal Murray, who is now a top 5 point guard in the regular season. But when that clock switched over to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, we saw it last year. We saw it in the bubble. Jamal Murray, he batted once it's playoff time. So yeah, LeBron James is now a unrestricted free agent, meaning that he can sign wherever he wants to sign. I know there was a rumor from Woj as she making the gesture towards being a Miami Heat. We'll see about that. But yeah, LeBron's a free agent. But Woj said that they expect him to sign, quote unquote, a 2 to 3 year deal. I mean, sure, maybe. But that will require the Lakers to sign draft, however, Bronny James, which to me, that's a dumb thing. But I mean, at the same time, the Lakers want to keep LeBron. So do what you got to do to keep LeBron. But it goes back to my point where LeBron James hamstrings or keeping the Lakers hamstrung, or Darvin hamstrung, as I called it on Twitter. Hamstrung to LeBron James. Yeah, Darvin hamstrung. They're stuck with LeBron, man. And so AD has been signed. He signed. The role players are okay. Austin Reeves, I'm sorry, Chidi, you had him in top 10 for shooting guards this season. Yeah, he got played off the court according to Darvin Ham. So along with D'Angelo Russell, who, by the way, let me get into that quote from Darvin Ham. So Darvin Ham, well, you know how it is. When it's time to fire a coach, everybody want to enter the clip and just say what's on their mind about whatever's going on. So
Ham with Ham.
Ham and ham, yeah.
Ham with ham. So, okay.
Dave McMenamin's article from ESPN. He says, Darvin Ham says, it's been extremely challenging. Has been in and out of the lineup, being criticized for not having consistent rotation when I don't have consistently healthy bodies. The thing that frustrates me, and I love this job, I love the pressure that comes with it. I've always been calm in the midst of the chaos, but common sense tends to go out the window when you talk about my job in particular. It's amazing how people just skip that core part of having consistency with your lineup. It's all predicated on health and performance. If you're coaching a team and one of your starters is like 10 games in a row, just shit in the bed, what are you going to do? So that was directed at, in most people's opinion, D'Angelo Russell, who, by the way, had a decent year, but when he gets to that press conference, he be saying some crazy shit sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, Darvin Ham is more than likely gonna be fired, I guess, maybe. But that would mean that if LeBron comes back, that they're gonna be on their fifth coach since LeBron's got there a couple years ago. So that part is kind of like, for me as a former Lakers fan, because I ain't a Lakers fan no more. That's what's frustrating about LeBron, man. LeBron, he brings a different vibe to your team, which was cool back in the day. But as you get older and you're more limited as a player, it's like, I don't want to deal with that mess anymore, especially because I know that you're only going to be here for a short period of time. So my question is, what do y'all think is wrong with the Lakers? Is it LeBron? Is it the GM? Is it roster construction? Like, what do y'all think? Because I think it's LeBron James. I think LeBron he's an amazing player. But if I'm the Lakers, and I know it's the Lakers because I've been a Lakers fan before, they want to be great immediately. But the Lakers are not a bad drafting team. This is the same Lakers that drafted, Caruso, who played well. They drafted Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, all these Josh Hart. Like, they've drafted great players historically. They just traded them away before they can actually be successful for their team. But what do y'all think? What's wrong with the Lakers?
I think for me, the Lakers, just LeBron overall, he works better with a guard than a forward. So, of course, over the last couple of years, the main focal point has been to, get Anthony Davis the ball, let him be the number one option. And AD took up that role over this year, and it was great to see. But at the same time, I think it took LeBron to adjust to, because he's used to being number one. And if you also think about the Cavs, he had Kyrie. You think about the Heat, he had Dwayne Wade. When you think about the time he won the bubble ring, the ring in the bubble, he had Rondo. I mean, and Rondo's IQ in itself is Hall of Fame. So you don't have not even a top tier IQ point guards on that team. I told you about Spencer Dinwiddie. He slowed the hell out. He talking about he want to come back.
I'm gonna give you kudos for that, because Dinwiddie was trash. He was trash for forever.
So you got that, and then you got D'Angelo Russell, who's inconsistent. But again, we can never say that Dwayne Wade was inconsistent, wasn't a dog, wasn't a killer. You know what I'm saying? We can't say, a damn sure can't say that about Kyrie Irving either. But as far as his Lakers go, you're gonna have, if LeBron's gonna come back, I think you're gonna have some like kind of dynamic guard. Like, that's why they should have threw everything they could to get DeJounte Murray. I think that would have helped them way more than D'Lo shit in the bed, as Ham said it. So wherever LeBron go, if it's not with the Lakers, I guarantee you their guard will be their best player on the team. I can guarantee that, which with the Warriors, that make a lot of sense, but I'm not sure if the world is ready for that media narrative. But again, wherever LeBron go, it's going to have a dynamic guard on anything. That's what he needs. That's what he's had to be successful. And because the Lakers ain't been able to get that, here we are again.
I am appalled by the comments by Darvin Ham from a coaching perspective. And one of the biggest parts about that is you have someone that's been in the slump for like 10 games, right? Or not playing well, whatever you want to say. So what are you, as a coach, what are you doing during practice or in between games to help or motivate your player to get him to a better spot? These are professional men. It shouldn't be 10 games. And one of the games, well, I'm not saying include this one, but in a playoff game, that man was 0 for 7, not in the huddle towards the end of the game. that's not about how bad he's playing. That's about how much he does not respect you. And I'm sure it's not just him, right? And so, and let me also say this. I hope Grizzly fans can hear me loud and clear. I didn't hear Taylor Jenkins mad about the lineups that he had to go through during the season and still putting together something. I didn't hear Eric Spoelstra, who went through a lot of different ups and downs because I'm a Heat fan. So Tyler Hero was out. Jimmy Butler was out. Bam. Like, we've had players out all season. We've had a lot of different multiple lineups, even pulling guys from our G League team to play. Eric Spoelstra's not making excuses. I'll even go as far as this. I didn't hear Glenn Rivers make excuses about Damian Lillard and Giannis being out. So you're going to talk about a player not playing for you, and it's not even really a star player that well. Save it. The only thing you really need to do, Darvingham, was sub in players at certain times. That's really all you had to do. Let LeBron coach. Let Phil Handy coach. Let anyone else coach, and you stand there with your hands in your pockets as if you are already defeated before you step on the floor, which usually is the case all the time. So, with that being said, I want to retort what everyone has said for a second and say this. The Lakers played the best that they can with the coach they have against the Nuggets 2 years in a row. That's it. Do not expect them. We cannot expect them to be better because they're not led by an individual who thinks he can do better and shows that he can do better. So with that said, the first thing that needs to go before we talk about the Lakers' outlook season is the coach. And I know, yeah, we said not you all, but LeBron wanted him. I don't care what LeBron wanted. I really don't care. Whatever is best for the Lakers organization is best for the Lakers organization. But if we can fire guys, I don't know, having a winning record, number 2 in the East during the regular season, if guys can get fired after 8 games to start the season, then why does this man still have a job? It's the lure of LA. Like, there's so much pressure to be a Lakers coach that if you ain't got it going, you need to go. Period. Right? I think Frank Vogel had to go.
That's a bar.
Actually, go ahead. Ask y'all something real quick. If y'all are D'Angelo Russell, do you pick up your $18.5 million player option and do this one more time?
You pick up the player option because you're not sure what people are going to offer you your market value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you use that as your trading piece. I think that's what he's been trying to say, D'Angelo. Go ahead.
I agree with that. Yeah, you never turn down the money, especially when you're not going to get paid more than what that is. Like D'Angelo Russell, that's about right for D'Angelo Russell, in my opinion. Like, get $15 million. He's a serviceable starting point guard. Well, I say point guard / off-ball guard. He's not really. I don't want him running my show, but he can score if you allow him to do his thing. But you brought up a great point too, with LeBron playing well with guards, and I think so. At the beginning of our show, I talked about the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. What made that big three great, and this goes for the Suns and the Lakers both, is that at some point there has to be communication amongst your stars as to what's the pecking order, one, and then two, what can I do as a member of this big three to make sure that we are successful? When it was Miami, and Shitty could probably vouch for this, when it was Miami, Dwayne Wade told LeBron, like, hey, you got to be the guy. You got the best player on this team. And we saw arguably the best version of LeBron James when the Heat won those 2 titles in the middle of LeBron's 4-year tenure with Miami. But it wasn't just that, though. Chris Bosh was a on-the-ball scorer in Toronto. At one point, he was considered an MVP candidate. That last year with Toronto, he was killing. Like Chris Bosh with the dreads was killing. But when he got to Miami, they told him, hey, man, if we're going to win championships, you got to be a stretch big. Chris Bosh became a stretch big for them. He became an elite defender as well, too. And his scoring dipped all the way down. But what happened? The team won 2 NBA finals, went to 4 in a row. And even after that, Miami broke him off, before he had that blood clot issue leg. They broke him off and made him the highest paid player on the team. So for like the Lakers, they got to figure out, one, what players work best around LeBron James. And AD, it was good for that 1 year, but these other years, man, it hasn't looked good. And I think LA wanted AD to be that guy. and he's honestly not somebody that you can build a team around as a primary option. And so, to your point, too, I think it is probably smart for them to figure out, like, if we're going to keep LeBron, how can we make sure that we are in a winning position? We need somebody that can play defense on the perimeter, somebody that can be an elite scorer like Kyrie. Well, I can't say like Kyrie because Kyrie's a different level of scoring, but somebody of that mold to where you're keeping the defense honest while also, at least being serviceable on the other end. Russell's not a defender on the other end, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't guarding no. So if the Lakers are going to keep LeBron James and maybe Anthony Davis, they got to figure out how to provide balance, and then also accept the fact that AD's my guy. Accept the fact that AD is not going to be that guy, the primary guy, once LeBron retires. They're gonna have to figure that one out. But you talking about firing the coach? Is Phil Handy the only option? Because there ain't no other options out there. I mean, I guess Ty Lue decided to step down from the Clippers, but like, who's the other option for the Lakers to be a coach? LeBron?
A player coach.
Yeah, go get him, Rondo, Brandon Roy. Yeah, I'm naming names of players.
Look, JJ Redick doing interviews.
Hey, they got a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a podcast.
Hey, real quick, one more question, and it is a dumb question, but it is a question I need to ask real quick. Should LeBron James look for a max contract? Dumb question, I know, but in order with this second apron and third apron, all that BS that's about to come down, it's gonna hinder, which has been a hindrance for the Lakers as well. And we talked about the Heat. The big word was sacrifice. So y'all took pay cuts. Mm-hmm. So again, should LeBron? It's a dumb question, but it's a question that needs to be asked. What y'all think, real quick?
It's not a dumb question. LeBron is a player that doesn't need money from the NBA. He has so many other endorsements. So legitimately, whatever he doesn't make in the league per that season, whether it's 5-10 million per year added, he'll make up for that easily. And if he wants to contend, again, I think the Nuggets, I've said this on the show before, the Nuggets have the formula. You're only going to pay Joker the max money for all the players. Jamal Murray's never going to make that max money that he should make because he's not making the All-NBA teams. He's not making the All-Star games. Whereas Anthony Davis is making these teams and is going to command more on his contract. And if I'm excuse me, I know I'm deflecting from the question, but if I'm Anthony Davis, with the injuries that I've had, how old I am, and my legs, I'm taking the max immediately when they offer it to me. When they do. So again, to answer your question, LeBron should not go and get the max that he needs or he thinks he rightfully deserves. And he does, let's be honest. But if he wants to be a champion, if he wants to be a contender, then he must follow what the Nuggets have done.
And the good thing about the Lakers with LeBron is that LeBron's max value is going to drop every year because of his age. Like, so there's a certain amount of money you can give a 39, 40-year-old player. And it's not as you think it is. So he won't be the highest paid player in the league, even though he probably deserves it. But that value is going to be low. So it's kind of by default that it'll be low, but it's still a max contract based on the fact that, it's LeBron James. We're going to give him the most amount of money that we can give him based on the CBA. AD is getting like what 63, something crazy like that, which is insane. So yeah, they'll be okay, but the roster it's the roster mixed with the coach. But at the same time, it's like you don't have 5 coaches, man. At some point, it's you, LeBron. At some point, it's you going on. So yeah. All right, but we out with these old guys, man. It's time for the new era of NBA, man. KD is old, LeBron's old, Steph old. It's a new era, man. Let me actually go through the bracket real quick from the NBA playoffs. The Thunder did sweep the New Orleans Pelicans. We can start there with them. They are the youngest team ever to win an NBA playoff series, and I think it was 23.6 or 20.8 years old.
Damn.
That's crazy to think about. Like,
including the youngest to sweep as well.
Yeah,
man.
Wow. Yeah, clearly, yeah. But a team that young going to the playoffs and handling business, man, like, I think that speaks well for the guy who did win Coach of the Year, Coach, whatever his name is, Coach D.
Dayno,
whatever, we call him Coach D here.
Coach D.
Because they playing defense, hell, shit. Jalen Williams, Mr. 3 and D. Man, ain't hungry, 3 and D. Lou Dort, like look, I'm a jealous Grizzlies fan right now because I'm like, damn it, that's supposed to be the Grizzlies. But we ain't here to talk about the Grizzlies right now. We're here to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Thank God.
Thoughts on what y'all see from the Thunder? And well, I go first because I've been getting on Shea. And to be honest, it's not just Shea. What we're seeing a collective of talent that again developed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they've been playing well. I got to give them credit, even if the Pelicans are an injury-riddled team right now with Ingram being kind of gimpy and Zion's not there. You still go out there and handle business. Like it's the playoff. It's time to handle business. And they got a nice week or so off before they go to the next series. I think they play the Clippers or the Mavericks next, and that might go 7. So you can chill and watch the Mavericks and the Clippers beat up each other before you get whoever comes out alive. And if I'm Oklahoma City, I feel good about either one of those teams because the Clippers are hurt. Kawhi's not playing. And then the Mavericks, they can be hot or cold depending on the day. So if I'm Oklahoma City, I feel good, man. But what are your thoughts on Oklahoma City?
You saw the best punch thrown by the Pelicans in game 1. Because I think that was the game of 94-92. Shea hit that little runner floater towards the end of the game. That's it. I didn't see life in the Pelicans after that, honestly. I went on the beach, tried to find them. I went to New Orleans, couldn't find them there. It's incredible. And what I like about the Thunder is they're really Oklahoma City to the day they die. Like they're not talking to the other like media reporters. They're talking to the Oklahoma City Thunder beat reporters first and foremost and giving them what they need before they go anywhere else. Now to discuss this team, man, of the Thunder is very scary because you actually don't know who. You know Shea's going to give you like 30. That's almost a definite, even in the playoffs. But who else is going to come to play? And it doesn't matter if they're home or away. Their players are stepping up. At least I can only go based upon what we have against the Pelicans. And the Pelicans have some really good defenders, whether or not they had to step up offensively or not. They have a lot of length on the defensive end. So to see them get massacred, I'm going to be honest with you, Damian. They got massacred in those other 3 games. Again, another team that needs to blow it up. Again, shout out to their coach. But 3 straight seasons in the playoffs, 2 of them were sweeps, I believe. And 1, you may have won a game or 2. It's time to rethink that. But also time to rethink who's got to go, B.I. or Zion. And we all know everyone's going to choose B.I. to go. But Zion can't stay healthy in the playoffs. So why keep him?
Agreed, man. Shout out to the MVPD, man. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I can't get that out. But now, really, the best. Like I came into the season, told y'all he's the best defensive point guard for sure, and somebody that 30 points a game is like this. What you want in an NBA player, period. Savage, you said it just right, like a complete roster of good young talent that's forming together, and that's been with each other for a minute too. That's kind of like the Grizzlies formula, and there we go, bringing it back up. But the thing that made them so special is because they've been able to play, with each other for years, and then Shaq coming in this year and literally solidifying everything that they needed as a big. They chilling just like we chilling, and whoever they go against next round, it's gonna be a fight. But in a way, I think they ready for whoever. So Broomy James may or may not be making his next appearance really, really soon, man. They just, like I said, just an overall good team. The only thing I got bad to say about them is, bro, like they've been on a few commercials for whatever companies represent the NBA, and they are boring. They have no personality. No, why the hell is no flex on out of every song that's been out in 2024? Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. But and just even they lines, they just talking like, hey, make sure y'all use this card. You know what I'm saying? Like, how's the personality? They try to bark, they barking and shit. Like, come on, man. We know y'all some dogs, man. We get it. They trying to steal the Grizz flow, but you can't steal the original.
Yeah.
Like, nah, man. But nah, that's the only thing I got bad to say about the Thunder. Shout out to them.
Let me ask y'all this before we go to the next thing. Do y'all think they could beat Denver?
No.
Nah.
7-game series. Denver a machine, bro.
The problem it's the matchup problem I would give for what Joker can do. The Joker is top in rebounds and assists for the playoffs, 14 and 11.
Ain't too far from the top from scoring.
Yeah.
How you gonna stop that?
Yeah. Speaking of the Joker, the next team, these are the only two I want to talk about was the Thunder and the Timberwolves. But before I get too deep into the Timberwolves, I just want to say Anthony Edwards' current postseason stats: 31 points a game, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, 1 block, 2 steals.
Told y'all he had it on him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna stamp this as well too. This is the face of the league, ladies and gentlemen. Like, he is going out there and putting in work on any and everybody. I know him and KD had that back and forth during their series, but those are the moments you remember about, legendary players. It was like those early years, like Jordan had his series against like the Pistons and the Celtics. Kobe had his early series against the finals in his case when he was young. But Anthony Edwards is going out there and he's showing and he's proving. But not only that, he's shooting about 40% from 3. Like, he couldn't shoot coming into the league, but now his shot is pure. Like, it's butter. And he bamming on your head with a dunk. And then he arguably right now, I ain't saying he got the best shoe, but his shoe is not a bad shoe. And so it looks nice on the feet. The game is nice. He's a marketable player. He's exciting to watch. It's playoff time. Now, he got the Joker this next round. And I'm sure that I'm curious to see how Denver's going to attack him on defense anyway. Like, what look are they going to give him, like KCP or Aaron Gordon or somebody to that degree? Because we've seen Aaron Gordon go head up with LeBron James in series. And so I'm sure that he's like, oh, okay, I got a smaller version of LeBron James right here in Anthony Edwards. So I'll be curious to see what Mike Malone do with that. But I also, and I'll pass to y'all next, but I also want to give credit to their coach, Finch, and also prayers up to him because he got hurt. He had like surgery, I think, either today or tomorrow for that, that accident that happened on the sideline. But I want to give him credit, man, because I left him for dead in that Grizzlies series. Like, I thought he couldn't coach. Like, nah, he ain't doing this. But what he's done and how he has recovered as a coach has been amazing for the Timberwolves. They've got a great culture. They've got a great roster from 1 to about 9, which is what you need in the playoffs. You got Mike Conley. Cat's playing well as a number 2 option. Gobert's playing well, at least in the last series. You got Naz Reid, 6th man of the year. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's playing well. So you've got a lot of these guys. And they got Slow-Mo. I forgot they had Slow-Mo. So I saw them out there playing. I'm like, you got veterans mixed with young players, and your best player is playing well. That's a recipe for success. But what do y'all think about Timberwolves so far?
I think that going into the playoffs, the Timberwolves were maybe one of the most disrespected teams that I've seen. And the reason why I say that is because at the second half of the season, Thunder, Nuggets, Timberwolves were 1, 2, 3 all the time, with the Timberwolves sometimes being the number 1 seed, sometimes being number 2 seed. They only lost by 1 game to be the number 1 seed. They're 1 game behind. So Anthony Edwards, who no idea why he's on MVP conversations, should have been for the regular season award. As you move and as well, I also was on the Finch train about how he coached, but also about him making the decision to say, hey, yes, we need this 3-headed monster with Naz Reid, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert, and it's going to work. And ladies and gentlemen, it worked. And just up to this last series, okay? So before everyone just starts, taking my head off of for the time that he played, those 3 games where Cat got injured, right when I injured, but was in foul trouble, he averaged a plus 17 while on the floor, plus 17, and was still giving you 14 rebounds and I think 17 points. That was when Cat was in foul trouble. And so when you go to game 4, I mean, they won't really need him then. He still played a decent game, and they're going to need Rudy Gobert to play against Joker and Karl-Anthony Towns and Naz Reid. They're going to need the whole kitchen sink to go against the Nuggets. And honestly and truthfully, is there anyone that can stop Joker? No. But I look on the other side of the ball, and I don't think there's anyone that can stop Anthony Edwards either. So that's where it lies. What role players will show up? What foul trouble will people get in? Like Karl Towns really has to stay out of foul trouble. Because we've seen times when the Joker goes, 18 free throws, I think, one game. He can get people in foul trouble for no reason. So that's my thing. I know they got KCP over there. I know they have Aaron Gordon, but I don't know, man. I believe in this Anthony Edwards this year because of what he did starting in the Olympics and how that's transpired. I think so. You talk about it a lot over the summer and how he really came into form this year. And I think it's going to be a great series. I won't say my predictions yet. I just think it's going to be a great series.
Are we not doing predictions?
We can. Let me see when the series start. Let me see. So we might need to.
Damn near tomorrow.
I don't think so because they said get the other series going.
Yeah, they say to be decided. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we can if y'all want to.
I still got the Nuggets in 6. When you talk about everything that, first off, salute to the Timberwolves.
Saturday.
Okay, cool. Salute to the Timberwolves. Like you can tell. Like even last year, we thought that, or me specifically, I thought that they were building that roster because of a good young point guard that said that he was fine in the West. So the Timberwolves, after facing the embarrassment from that certain point guard, they went and said, we need to beat this team. So let's go ahead and solidify the middle. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're good with veteranship. And that's what they did last year. This year, what you're seeing is a continuation. Again, before the season started, I said everybody in the West will get better because no move's been made. So that chemistry matters, especially in situations like this. Now we got Ant-Man. Sheedy, you said that you're not sure why Ant-Man wasn't in MVP form. And I described it on this podcast as if you look at his numbers, they're not really MVP numbers. Again, that's my guy, but we're going to speak the truth. However, what he's doing right now is what I've been waiting to see. I love what I'm seeing from Ant-Man. I love that he's give me the ball, get the hell out of the way. I got y'all. Mike Conley tell him, hey, take us there 5. It's beautiful to see. But my thing is, how long would Rudy Gobert stay on the floor? Because he's what we've described, is he worth the 5 picks? No. But at the same time, he's doing his damn job and he's doing it well. But do we see him playing 30 minutes a game with Jokic, especially when him being able to spread them out on the floor? And that's been the key issue with the Timberwolves now. So I answer that to say no. Ant-Man's still going to do his thing, but what about everybody else? Cat, what are you going to do? And let's not forget, like the Nuggets is still a pretty defensive team. They kind of like this. We were literally watching the Spurs right now. Like, we don't know how they're so good at defense, but damn it, they just good at defense. They know what's up. They know where everybody's supposed to be. That's why they're the best team in the league. And if you want my frank opinion, the Timberwolves may be the only team to stop them from getting to the championship again. So I'm expecting fireworks. I'm expecting a great series. However, I'm expecting Jokic to show why he's the best player in the league. And Ant-Man, we love what you're doing, but still, you got some time to go, just as we saw with the 89 Jordan. This team may be what the Pistons of, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be, I think Jordan's 0-6 against Larry Bird. This could be it. Like, we're literally seeing a baby Jordan right in front of our eyes, and it's beautiful. Shout out to Ant. But all that to say, again, Nuggets, because of the MVP and the team that the Nuggets are.
I'm gonna say this. I think the winner of this series going to the finals. I think, because if you beat the beat the Nuggets, you're gonna beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. Because you would have proven to me that you can literally beat the best team in the NBA. Yep. And that would require Anthony Edwards to go Jordan, literally. So I'm like, I'm not betting against it. I'm not betting against Ant-Man doing that. That being said, I fully expect the Nuggets to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I won't be mad if the Timberwolves beat them, because that probably means we're going to get either Ant-Man versus Shea or Ant-Man versus Lucas. I think Lucas is still going to beat the Clippers. I think it's going to happen. So that's going to be a great matchup either way. But yeah, I give me Nuggets and I say 6 as well too. I think Minnesota can get a couple of games, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to get one, you're going to get cat and foul trouble, which has happened last series. Rudy Gobert is going to get played off the court like he typically does against most great big men who are on the perimeter, because literally the Joker is on top of the key for the entire possessions. And then he goes to the post based on the matchup he sees. So he's not going to go in the post against Gobert. But if you get like Nas Reed on you, let me turn my back and go to work. And then if I get double team, I get somebody in the corner. It's a backdoor cut to the dunker spot with Aaron Gordon. So yeah, give me Nuggets. It's going to be, I almost wanted to say 5, Ryan, but I got respect for the Timberwolves, so I'm going to say 6.
Me too.
I got respect for them, because I think the Nuggets should be able to handle this relatively easily, but I want to give Ant-Man at least. I know Ant-Man going to win at least one by himself, but I think it'll be 2, because Cat gonna play well at least one of those games, and it'll be a 6-game series. What about you, Sheedy?
Yeah, it's the same team that statistically, the Lakers statistically were the better. No, not even the Lakers. We played the Nuggets. Who was statistically? Yeah, the Lakers last season. Didn't they win 2 games against the Nuggets? No, they didn't win any games.
It was the Suns.
The Suns. I knew it was somebody else that got swept this season. And so statistically, they were the best team. But if you talk to the players from the Nuggets, they said that playing against the Timberwolves was the harder series for them. So I can't really bet against the Nuggets, though, can I?
Nah.
I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, when you say it out loud,
last year.
Yeah, I was thinking, but now I was like, nah. All right, yeah, give me Nuggets. I must agree with 6, but I can see 5. I really, and I'm praying for the worst enemy of all teams right now is injury. So I'm really hoping and praying that injuries stays away from the rest of these series. But if Jamal Murray is hurt, didn't play hurt, but if this is something else that happens again with that calf, it's a different series.
For sure. We're going to wrap it up right here with the playoff update. So I'm going to run through the rest of the series. The Clippers and Mavericks, they are currently at 2-2. I think we all said this is going to be a long series anyway. 2 evenly matched teams. I still think the Dallas Mavericks are going to win this series, just based on, I think Luka and Kyrie is a better combination than Paul George and James Harden. At some point, James Harden got to play bad. Some point, it's got to happen. It's got to happen at some point. He been playing well. I ain't gonna lie. That last game was vintage James Harden. Like the floaters were out of control. So I give him credit for that. Let's see what else. We talked about these. Oh, Boston and Miami. Sorry, Sheedy. Even with KP's out for, I think it said several games, which kind of hurts because they brought in KP for these moments. You brought him here to be that third scorer or that second scorer whenever JT or Jaylen Brown can't perform as well. So to lose him, they said it wasn't an Achilles, so that's good for them. But it's still, you 7 feet tall, non-contact injury, perimeter-oriented move. So he's out for a couple of games. They don't know when he has a timetable to come back, but I mean, regardless, Boston gonna win that series. Like Miami, kind of they've wrapped that up. I think they just content with like going home. Cavs and Magic right now they're at halftime. It's 48-47, but they're tied 2-2. That also is a 7-game series in my opinion. But it's gonna be important for Cleveland to figure out, are they gonna keep Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland? How are they gonna do that? And the Magic are another young team that's been playing well recently. But I think this is the first go around, so I got to see them actually do some damage before I give them any more credit. Bucks and Pacers, Giannis and Dame are out for Game 5, which means that Milwaukee has laid down. I think Milwaukee's laid down, and I hate it because Doc Rivers gets a get out of jail free card, and he will be back next year. I mean, if he gets fired, I'd be surprised, but I think he comes back next year. He comes back next year because he had injuries, and I mean, maybe they'll be better. We'll see. But Indiana, they weren't playing well prior to the series starting, but now they got 3 games up on Indiana, and they are probably going to the next round to face the winner of Philadelphia and New York. Right now, Philadelphia is up. They could have won 2 games in this series, but they had some referee calls that happened, some weird plays that happened. And New York is currently up 3-1 on Philadelphia. But like I said, right now, it's a 74-72 game. So that could go either way. I think that might go 7 as well, too. So these remaining series are going to take form and take shape. Before we get up out of here, do y'all have any comments about these series? No comments?
Oh, no. We're not going to bypass the 76ers and Jalen Brunson show. First of all, that's not going 7 games. It's not. It might be done in 6. It might be done tonight. And as Kat would say, what is greater than what if. So sorry, Philly, not happening. Shout out to the Magic. Keep it moving. Heat, keep it moving. Who else is in the East? At least we didn't get swept, by the way.
Y'all got one.
Yeah.
That's coaching, man. That's coaching, dog. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Porzingis is out.
But he wasn't out in the game that we won, though. Game 2. Everybody was fully healthy. And it was in Boston.
It's 3-1, man.
We're done. I'm okay with we being done. That's fine.
You can see.
Because the next show, we got to start. We big game hunting next show. Okay. And I guess and then did we talk about the West? It doesn't really matter about the West.
The West is pretty much like the what was it? The Thunder swept, the Timberwolves swept, and then who else was the other team?
Oh, the Mavericks. The Mavericks. I got the Mavericks in that series. Yeah. However, to your point, when it's like I'm gonna say this, it's kind of like an analogy, so to speak, but the LeBron effect is also a Kawhi effect for the Clippers. So you talked about their offense, right? And I completely agree with you. And when Houston Harden knows he can come to play and now have to get the ball out to somebody else, that is a killer right there. Still. And Paul George ain't no slouch still either. Yeah. So, and Norman Powell's been playing good too. Russell Westbrook, you got it. I'm sorry, what you did the other night was
it was like 0 for 10. It was something crazy. I'm like, bro, stop shooting.
That's all those games. But yeah, we not. Joel Embiid, you came back again for what? Not sure. So Deuce is my guy. And that's all my comments. I'm sorry.
No. You respect, bro. I ain't got too much to say, man. Salute to Jalen Brunson, man, to show people stand up. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, we got to go a whole summer with Milwaukee and Glenn Rivers being together, which, I'm pretty sure we're going to love that. Other than that, the Clippers and Mavericks, even though I did have to make a choice, I honestly forgot who I had because I still don't know who I got winning.
You said Clippers. You're the one that said Clippers.
I said, but it was based on Kawhi being
playing. Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
So it's like they still kind of going back and forth. But Kyrie Irving, the beautiful layup, beautiful artist that he is, salute to him. just salute, man. NBA playoffs been fun, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it for sure. And I've won a lot of money on Prize Picks. So
I'm about to say, what's the harder play, man?
But look, I started the playoffs with $5. I got like 100 right now. So hey. I know it ain't much, but hey,
it's also 100. Man, look, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a 20 times come up, bro.
It's been a small build up, but man, playoff time, that's my favorite time, and I'm looking good on some history tonight. So we'll see. Okay.
Yeah, make sure y'all follow too for some harder plays. We're gonna retweet it from the 3 Hardaway Twitter, X, whatever y'all want to call it. So all right, I know CD got up out of here. We actually made perfect time. So CD, go get your boy, and we will see y'all next week.
Go fix your air fryer.
Not Tuesday.
I only use air. What the hell? That shit only use air, bro.
I'm hurt.
As you should be.
The ancestors are displeased right now with shit in his air fryer.
So put in some grease, nigga.
It's a deep fryer, not an air fryer.
Yeah. The hell? Get this vegetable all out.
All right, Josh. Next second. Be blessed. Peace.